Hello, Carolina. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for booking with me. Now, if my voice sounds a little bit like deep and hot, maybe that's not the word for it, seductive, it's because I'm still recovering. So the last time that I was gonna do this video, I had already started doing it. And for whatever reason, my camera kept shutting on and off. It said that I had no memory, or that like I think my iCloud storage was full. Um, I had to delete a lot of my precious memories, but it's fine. I didn't need them. Um, I'm kidding. Um, so yeah. So I had intentionally set to do this that day that I had emailed you saying that you would receive it by 11 p.m. And then I had somebody book a 3 hour reading with me. It was like them and their entire family. And after I had already started doing yours, after that booking, and I realized that my throat was hurting a little bit, and I thought it was because I had been talking for a good 3 hours. I legit talked for 3 hours. And I thought it was, oh, I talk so much that, my voice is gone. And little did I know it was genuinely going to be the beginning of the end for me. After that, I got really, really sick. I lost my voice completely, all my vocal cords just gone. Um, and then I had like this really bad, like, it kind of feels like a flu, but it really wasn't a flu. I'm not really sure what I came down with. It definitely was not corona because I've already had it. And it's the first time that I've gotten sick since I got COVID. So I knew it was gonna be not great, but I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. So yeah, here I am now, and I'm just lighting some eucalyptus because eucalyptus is like great for like um to like revitalize your energy, and I actually really like the smell of it. Um, there we go. It takes a little bit to catch on because eucalyptus in itself is a really like it's a really, I don't want to say wet plant, but it's a really hydrated plant. So even in the drying process, any eucalyptus that you'll find is a little harder to burn, but it's definitely worth it. I love the smell. It's still burning. I know the camera doesn't catch it that much because it's not like a hard burn. It's literally a very slow burn. So yeah, that, if you're wondering what happened to me or what occurred to me, I was dying for the majority of almost 2 weeks, and I still haven't fully recovered, but I'm here and now. I'm here in the now. That's a better word for it. I'm here in the now. Okay. So my little setup. So I go off by your chart. Oh, it's actually a perfect setup. I got this at, I think it was Joann Fabrics, and it's literally just a piece of fabric that I drape over because I have messed up the bottom due to like, I used to do like work here, witchy work, and then I was like, let me turn it into a desk. So now it's like completely like broken down there. But anyway, so yeah, I got this at Joann Fabrics. So let's talk a little bit about your reading. So I start every reading by going through your chart, and I do a little chart dissection. And most of the information that I get are from these two books. Bring them over here. From these two books. Now, if you don't know who Judy Hall is, she's an OG astrologer. She's been in the game for like, I want to say like 20 something years. It might be even more. And she has those two books, which are Karmic Connections, and she has another one called Patterns of the Past. But I feel like the easiest one to start off with, I literally threw it over there, is this one. So this one is the easiest to start off with because it does break down like your moon and its karmic, it breaks down some of the past life roles. It breaks down like the karmic influences. Where's the karmic influence on this one? It breaks down the karmic influences for your sun sign as well. I'm trying to show you. Here we go. Your karmic lessons, karmic strengths, karmic influences, and I think it's a great book if you're starting off, into like if you want to know more. But Karmic Connections is a lot more advanced, so I prefer, slowly but surely, I prefer that one, and then you work your way up to Karmic Connections and Patterns of the Past. And in the book, she does describe that clusters in your chart tend to be like accumulation of karma. And I know some people say karma is like this like horrible thing, like, oh my god, like bad karma. No, karma is basically, they said it's kind of like, it can be like a debit card or a credit card. You either owe or you have. And that's very telling for a lot of people. Like, you can accumulate good karma, which would be like a debit card, or you could accumulate bad karma, which is kind of like a credit card that if you don't pay off in a different life, it would most likely follow you into your current lifetime. I love smelling it. it would most likely follow you into your current lifetime. And there was, I'm sorry, there was a huge chunk of kind of there's a huge chunk in your Gemini house. Now, Gemini is a sign of communication. It's the messenger. It's the lovers, which I think is so funny because that was the card that was up here. Gemini is represented by the lovers in tarot. It's also duality. It's like the yin and the yang, very similar to kind of Pisces. Except they have a whole other level to them. I do notice that there was kind of like it was the karma was more relying around how you communicate with people, your love and your relationships, just because it's rooted in Gemini. Now, I do go through a very thorough breakdown into your chart along with those, but I did want to like let you know, like, hey, like there is a lot. So when I see a heavy influence on Gemini, I notice that either they are like creatively stifled in the past, or they don't want people to like, they would be great journalists, great writers, great messengers. I would even consider them kind of like the Paul Revere, because they're always trying to spread out the word of their time. But like a lot of that, there can be a lot of like hard influences, meaning like you could have accumulated some bad karma. Somebody didn't want you to talk. Somebody just wanted you gone out of the picture, because you're always trying to spread information and you're always trying to find out the truth. That's why I feel like they're great journalists, they're great writers, they're great rappers, they're just great artists all around. Even in that creative field. So yeah, that was a little bit of the chunk. I do feel more so that you were probably suffocated in a past life. So even now, that could follow you in different ways. Like, I do apologize, it cut off. But as I was saying, they can tend to have fears around like being suffocated, dying. Can even lead up to like throat issues. So just so you're aware. Now, I also like to pick out some crystals based on your chart. And like why I picked out these crystals. So this one is Peach Moonstone. This one is Carnelian. This one's actually mine from like my collection. She pretty. This one is Tiger's Eye. And this one is Blue Kyanite. So Peach Moonstone is actually said to kind of connect you to your femininity, connect you really to your intuition. I feel like you already have a strong intuition, but logic might get in the way, just because of the heavy Gemini influence. It connects you to your intuition. It heightens your dreams as well, and kind of has a very like softer, how do I say, like a softer undertone than Rainbow Moonstone has. But they're both great. I do have a Rainbow Moonstone ring right here. I've never taken it off. But they're both really great for kind of connecting to the divine feminine. And I feel like maybe that's what you need. You really kind of need to reconnect with yourself right now. And kind of just maybe ground yourself. So carnelian is great for, it's a stone of passion, it's a stone of vitality. It allows you to kind of rechannel that like sexual energy and really kind of balance it out. It's a great stone for like projects and to get your stuff moving. It is a stone of kind of like action, and I feel like you can spend a lot more time thinking than actually doing, just because of the heavy Gemini influence. And that brings me to the Tiger's Eye. The Tiger's Eye is a grounding stone, so it allows you to kind of ground your ideas into the 3D realm, as well as kind of like stabilize you, bring you back down to earth. It's kind of seen as the stone of fortune. I don't know if you can see it, it's like really nice. It's seen as the stone of fortune. It also says to bring luck and courage to the wearer. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. I'm like trying really hard to show you. It's said to bring courage to the wearer, and it's an all-around great stone if you really want to just like bring yourself back down. And yeah, this is the Tiger's Eye. Really pretty. And Blue Kyanite. Now, Blue Kyanite is a stone of communication. It also helps you do like past life recalls. I keep this stone around me at all times, especially if I'm doing past life readings, because it is kind of like digging through quicksand. You're basically digging through somebody's like energetic, like their energetic bank account. Like you're just digging in there. Like, I don't know, not even like that. You're digging through energetic sand is like how I feel it. You're literally digging through somebody's like different, like what type of energy they've embodied and they will embody. So yeah, I always keep this one on me. It's a great stone. Like if you want to sleep with it, try to have like some past life dream recalls. Also great for communication. Like if you want to communicate something clear and concise, I feel like maybe this one would also be great for you. I feel like Geminis, their whole purpose in life is to be misunderstood. Just because they can come off the wrong way, or they can come off as too truthful, or not how to say it, not empathetic enough, because they basically spit out the facts. It's nothing like, it's not a how I feel, how they feel. It's just, it is what it is. So I feel like this one will kind of help you get your point across a lot better. It is a really, really nice chunk. So yeah. If you're wondering what any of these stones are, I keep these over here. They're kind of just like chilling here. This one's ruby. This is another piece of tiger's eye. Citron. No, this is tangerine quartz. Tangerine quartz, citron. This one is yellow calcite. Another piece of carnelian. I love carnelian. This one is blue labradorite. And these two are my rose quartz bunnies. No, my rose quartz. They're strawberry quartz. My strawberry quartz bunnies. They're besties. And this one is a moonstone bear. So yeah, I keep these all around me. I also have a little rose quartz tower. They're always kind of sitting here just because I like to keep them on this little board. But if you were wondering what they were, this is my rose quartz tower. So let's jump into the reading. So when I started the other reading, I did see that you might have had a past as kind of like a monk. I don't even want to say it's a monk or a nun. It didn't feel that way. It made me feel like it was kind of like a choice to stay celibate in order to kind of accomplish some of your goals. And I don't know if that's more scholarly, because I know some scholars decided kind of like not to marry in the past. But yeah. So I did kind of get through a whole part of the reading before I realized that this thing wasn't recording. So now what I tell everybody is past lives can tend to be kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Aang channels different lifetimes depending on what his problems are. Like obviously you can go through many lifetimes. You don't specifically have to go through just one. And I feel like in the reading that I did, that for whatever reason just came out choppy. There was 2 very specific lifetimes, and I'll kind of get into them as soon as I pull cards for here. And so now let me focus a little. What past lifetimes most affect Caroline's current lifetime? Now I'm not surprised at this one. I'll say why in a little bit. What past lifetimes currently affect Caroline's current? What past lifetimes currently affect Caroline's current lifetime? I don't think it's farm, this one. I was like, why? Why is there no... Oh, Spirit's yelling. Wow. What past lifetime? They're jumping, but nothing's like... What past lifetime? What do we got over here? This one came up as well, and I'll tell you why in a little bit as well. What past lifetime? Oh, okay, another one. Food and hunger. Spouse. So this is a big, wow, I didn't expect it to be a love message, but let me show you the card that kind of like, this card flopped over here. This one as well. So I'm going to go through it. So we have love life. We have unrequited love. We have forgiveness. We have transportation. We have food and hunger, spouse, knighthood, and Native American. Now for Native American, I feel like this deck is low-key problematic, but when I channel this, I do not feel like you were born an Indian, a Native American. I feel like maybe you are native to a land and not really Native American. Now, the deck that I'm using is the Past Life Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue and Brian Weiss. Now, if you don't know who Brian Weiss is, he's basically like the father of past life psychiatry. He's really big in kind of like the spiritual community. He wrote amazing books like Many Lives, Many Masters. I've read every single one of his books. If I do recommend any of his books, it's definitely that one. And I know that they don't sell this deck anymore. This one's probably like 7 years old. They sell a little version. I had it up here. I don't know where it went, but it's a little version that like they remake that's on Etsy. That doesn't have the book, but it's honestly great. It's like a mini one. I might start using that one because I feel like these cards are really big. And they're really great if you want this deck. Now, if you know who Doreen Virtue is, she's one of the biggest kind of like oracle deck creators. And it's unfortunate because for her, she stepped down and she kind of like renounced all her work due to her marrying a Christian man. So yeah, it's a whole mess, but she was one of the best creators, and a lot of other readers still use her stuff. But I do like to point out that some of her stuff is a little problematic. So yeah, let me go into this reading. So I did kind of channel somebody in your life. I don't know if you have a Capricorn, Virgo, or a Taurus that has heavy kind of like earth energy that was kind of like using you. I want to say they were like kind of using you to gain some sort of like rank up in society, and these cards kind of came up before. So I know like whatever you're dealing with might kind of be directly related to this. It was kind of like you weren't really given a chance at kind of disputing your relationship with them, because they kind of locked you in through kind of like false allegations, through like there was like a child present in the lifetime that I read prior. There was a child present that wasn't yours, that I don't feel will reincarnate in this lifetime. It was just kind of like a purpose for that lifetime, so that they could keep you where you were. And it was kind of seen as disgraceful if you didn't kind of care for your child back then. So you were kind of locked in this kind of like dead-end marriage, dead-end cycle that you didn't feel you could move out of. So I feel like whoever this person is, they will be coming off as a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and it'll feel very dead-end. They will be very manipulative. I feel like that is kind of like playing out in a sense. And it's going to be affecting you. I feel like this person is somebody that you have or may still be dealing with. If they are not an immediate kind of spouse, they could be somebody that reincarnated in your group. Sometimes the people that you have the most karma with tend to be the people that you're closest to. So that could be your family, that could be like immediate friends. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Goblin. It's actually called Guardian the Lonely Great God, but in the story, he basically is like this soldier that his king betrayed him and betrayed his whole family, and they both got punished. He got punished by living forever, and the other guy got punished by being a Grim Reaper that had lost all his memories. He would retain all his memories. The Grim Reaper had none of his memories, and they were kind of forced to live together. And that kind of goes to show you that karma very much plays that way. It will kind of like force you to fix those issues so that you can kind of like move on. Yeah, I definitely believe that this is somebody that's going to have like a hard influence on your life, and that they could be immediately reincarnated to kind of like clear out that karma. So let's see what we have here. We have love life, forgiveness, food and hunger, knighthood, unacquainted love, transportation, spouse, and Native American. But obviously I feel like you're native to a land and not really a Native American. This card is problematic. But anyway, back to this. I saw that transportation was a big thing, so I don't know if you would like to like move around a lot in your life, or this is kind of like how you move from lifetime to lifetime. I feel like your movements from lifetime to lifetime have not been easy. I feel like most of the time you've kind of been dropped down with or that you've reincarnated really quickly. And it also kind of shows in your love life. And the reason that I feel this way is because Gemini was in Venus, and that makes me feel like if you don't get the kind of like the mental stimulation that you're looking for, you can be really, really quick to move on to something, and people might see that as like oh, you're quick to go, or you don't really want a serious relationship, when it's more about you know what you're looking for when it comes to that mental stimulation. And if somebody doesn't kind of give you that really quick, you already know firsthand. I feel like I said, I feel like your intuition is very strong, and I feel like this could have caused a lot of issues with you in your kind of like past love life. Like I feel like this could have been somebody that wanted to take immediate revenge on you, or felt like they were wronged by you, and they kind of like looked out to seek their quote unquote justice. Just lighting this little piece of citron because it helps my nasal passages. I do apologize, I'm still pretty sick, but I'm well enough to read. Kind of. So back to this. I do feel like there is a lifetime here that might have caused kind of like scarcity or fear of not having enough within you, because food and hunger is here. I feel like these two are kind of related to each other. I feel like there might have been some like mass I don't know, for whatever reason I'm getting kind of like North America, so I feel like maybe that's where the lifetime has been, or more towards like Peru. Is it I'm saying like Peru, like it's not in North America, but I feel like that lifetime in particular, there was a lot of starvation due to kind of like Inquisition, and I feel like knighthood, these three kind of go into one. I definitely feel like you were down there. I don't know if you have an interest in kind of like record keeping, but I do see you as somebody who would keep records for the village, and kind of like keep records of the ancestors. And what I'm seeing is kind of like this person in this kind of like clay stone place, and they're kind of like writing down and keeping track of the deaths, and kind of like really kind of keeping the records for everyone before kind of like these people came into the village. It makes me feel like these were kind of like conquistadors, quote unquote, that wanted to kind of like erase some of their kind of like their existence. And I feel like this has a lot more to do with land than the actual kind of like than the actual like they want to take over and like convert you to Catholicism. It makes me feel like this was more of like a land inquisition, and these people were bent on kind of like getting the people out. I do feel like they would either spike the food, or they would take the food and leave in order to kind of like kill these people off. I feel like there was like a hardcore kind of like fear of survival. You are older here. You are, I feel like you're male as well. You're kind of like in the 60s, rather when in this lifetime you're a female, and you're in your early like 20s. So in this lifetime, it makes me feel like you were kind of like in your 60s and you have lived a good amount of life, but this is kind of when things start kicking in motion for you. There's one specific person here that feels like they have it out for you because you are an elder, and they look to be kind of like a young man, with curly hair, brown, Spanish descent in this lifetime. And they want you gone because you kind of like move the people forward. You kind of give them wisdom, and you kind of try to like lift their spirits in a way to like keep them going. And I feel like this could possibly be a role that you're holding in your current lifetime. You might be kind of like the go-to person that everybody goes to kind of like get some inspiration or to kind of move them along. But this person kind of sees you as a detriment to what they're trying to accomplish, which is basically kind of like an annihilation of people. I feel like this person is, let me pull cards. I like talk and I'm like, I forget to pull cards. Yeah, I feel like this person, you're going to teach them a lot about kind of like responsibility or accountability. It's more of accountability, because I feel like this person is going to become coming into your life with like not really being held accountable to their actions. They're going to be more inclined to, I feel like this person would be a drinker. They'd be kind of like a drinker, kind of somebody that just doesn't want to take responsibility for anything or their actions. And you're gonna see that played here. I feel like in their last dying moments, they kind of were very arrogant. I feel like obviously you passed before them. They feel very young compared to you. They feel like in their 30s, and here you're in your 60s. They feel very young compared to you. And I feel like even in their last moments, they kind of hold this hard resentment towards you that might pop up in your current life. And this could be like resentment, jealousy, and it can be just unexplained. Like it doesn't even have a reason. And I feel like it's because this person kind of wanted the status that you held, but they wanted it in their realm, which is like in the Inquisition knighthood. They wanted to be seen as more, and here you held it. And I feel like this is going to be somebody that can come off as a friend, just because of the 3 cups here, but also like they could be a drinker, a friend that wants to help you succeed. A lot of air bunny quotes here, but it's really kind of like vile and underhanded. And I want to see what kind of like aspects they have in their chart, or what they're reincarnated as. So again, like I feel like they could be a Virgo. They could be a Virgo, they could be an earth sign, but it may be leaning more towards Virgo because the Hermit is here. So I feel like this person could be like very picky, very how to say, critical of you, and they could even be taking advantage of your generosity because they know that you're a giving person, that you're willing to let others kind of like learn and grow with you, but they're kind of taking advantage of that. And I feel like your lesson is to kind of let them go and forgive them for how much they've already taken. I feel like the forgiveness piece is here. It's kind of like remnant of both their lives. I feel like there's absolutely nothing that you could have done for this person, and that you kind of just have to remove them from your life. I feel like this is a significant person or will be a significant person in your life. And you kind of have to just be comfortable with kind of like letting them go and kind of making amends in the only way that you know how to, which is like knowing that you kind of have a lot more worth. I feel like it might be a friend just because of how close I feel like you guys could be. Could also be like a very immediate relationship that you had or a recent relationship that you had. But I feel like they are kind of somebody that's going to be stuck in their ways, very nitpicky of you because they can't reach that status or that or what they're looking for in life, so they kind of like look to other people to nitpick. And again, I feel like this is kind of like you showing forgiveness to not let yourself hoard those emotions because they aren't for you to kind of keep. They're kind of passing by emotions that you feel. And even though you might feel maybe betrayed or maybe like lied to, or you might hold a lot of these and you might ask, why me? No, never take any of this personal. I feel like some people just are that way and it's nothing to do with you. It's kind of in their character, in their being, kind of in their genetic makeup. So back to this. So this love life, I feel like there might have been somebody that had their eye on you and you kind of just didn't really like them. And I feel like this might be somebody that will eventually chase you in a current lifetime. It might even be this person, but I don't feel it. I feel like it might be somebody else, like somebody new. I feel like, yeah, they might be a water sign. I don't know. They could be a Scorpio or have like predominantly water sign properties. Now, I feel like this person is not going to be an issue. I feel like it's more of, it's going to be kind of like a decision that you're going to have to make between two people. And eventually one of them, which this person's going to be, is going to feel like you never return their romance. So this is kind of like a long standing between both of you. And it's going to have to be just how it plays out. I feel like it has nothing to do with you. They could come off as a little more obsessive. I do feel like they could be like a Scorpio just because of how the cards are playing here. I feel like this person could be a little more obsessive. Might even kind of just not let the idea of you go, but I feel like they're more in love with the idea of you than actually you. And when they actually have you, they might not know how to value you. So I would just be really, really careful. I feel like the other person would be the better choice, just but by how these cards are playing out, it makes me feel like this person, you might be stuck on two people, not really choose this person, and then they'll kind of be more infatuated and like really want you. But if you were to choose this person, they wouldn't be able to give you what you want. And I feel like a lot of this karma comes from you already knowing what's going to work out for you and what is not. It's kind of that Gemini intuition that's really, really strong. A lot of people kind of don't give Geminis their credit, but they have like keen intuition. And I feel like in this lifetime, you kind of decided to choose to be with somebody else and eventually moved on. I don't know if like UK or like Norway, or because I'm getting like a cold climate, more like in the British era. If you've ever wanted to visit there or have like been fascinated by some of their cultures, it makes me feel like it's kind of in that era because of how do I put it, how advanced their transportation is. Makes me feel like you decided to leave without saying a word, and it makes me feel like it was for the better because you eventually do find somebody. This is why kind of like spouses here. This one kind of comes with the, I don't know if you can say it, with the star card. I feel like you eventually do find the person you're supposed to be with after this move. You don't give too much headway to this person, but when you do, are you planning to move somewhere? I'm sorry, that was kind of like out of the blue, but it makes me feel like after some sort of transition, some sort of like newness in your life, you eventually meet the person that you're meant to be with. And it's more out of like you deserve this and you've kind of already come along this road, and now you really get to be with who you are, with who you needed to be. Now I'm gonna ask like what are kind of like the key lessons. I'm sorry if you hear a scratching noise, that's my little dog. Every time he like hears somebody coming home, he automatically wants to greet them, but sometimes he likes to run out the door, so we don't let him out too much. Like I want to ask what some of like the lessons around your life are centered. What are some of the karmic? I feel like, I'll tell you right now. Okay. I feel like a lot of the lessons in your life revolve around they're bringing A lot of the lessons around your life kind of fall around like when you hit bad times, suddenly something better comes up. I feel like that's a lot to do with it. Even though kind of like the life where you were in like the Southern America, I feel like you did die there, and I feel like you were kind of like killed by this person just out of like fear and jealousy and rage. Um Whenever you moved on to something better, especially in that life where you like chose to like leave and kind of like transportation and like move forward, things get better for you. So I don't know if like actively moving or actively changing yourself helps a lot in terms of your luck and in terms of what you're looking for. And it's kind of like being okay with rebuilding your life, letting go of kind of the things that really hurt you so that you could form a better relationships, better kind of like understanding of yourself is going to be really key. I feel like you have a hard time letting go of things and moving on. This is why that moving on piece is here. It also reminds me of the transportation card. Um, and you kind of have a hard time letting go, but as soon as you let go, I feel like better things come into play for you, or you kind of get a new understanding of why these challenges had to be. And I feel like you are the type of person that you move quick, but you don't like moving quick is great, but it's also like you don't give yourself the time to kind of understand the lessons, or you stay stuck too long on those lessons when something better for you is kind of already set in place and set in motion for you. And you kind of have to find the balance of what is worth my time and what is not. And I feel like part of the first life is about you being comfortable in, you know, really expressing yourself to others. I feel like you might not be too comfortable expressing your ideas or expressing some sort of position of power just because of how that first life ended up. And the other part is being okay to not really having to let people fully understand you. It's okay to not be fully understood. You can kind of, they can get like an idea and like a somewhat, but I feel like you kind of make other people make it their mission to misunderstand you, and you kind of try to over explain yourself, try to really get to like get to, how do I put it, you really try to get people to understand you when some of them have like a duty in their life to misunderstand you. So yeah, I feel like part of your lesson is to kind of learn that and kind of just create the type of relationships you want, but know that that deeper level of understanding is going to come from somebody that makes it kind of their mission in life to really understand you. Now let me go to message from spirit. By the way, this thing has been cutting off like non-stop. It keeps saying I have no storage, so I've been pushing through this reading. Now this is the Divine Goddess Oracle. I purchased it on Etsy. I don't know if she still makes these, but it's a really amazing oracle. I think it's also really pretty. It has like really pretty notes of rose gold, and I believe it was like $60. So I want to know what type of message from spirit, message for you spirit has. I do feel like your guides are more like rooted in nature, and you might find a lot of what you're looking for through there. Spirit have any more? I'm also gonna pull from this one. I have a ton of oracles, but I kind of just stick to the ones that call out to me. Apologize for my mess back there. What message does spirit have? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, it was already broken, by the way. Okay. So I feel like if you are creatively stuck right now, I feel like expressing yourself, kind of digging into new things would really help that. Especially if you've like been in like a real like an artist block almost, you have like a creative blender. Setting yourself up to do new things, even if it's just going to a cafe, going to read a new book, going outside, will really kind of help you get that creativity flowing. I also feel like you can have a hard time making decisions, so I feel like spirit wants you to be really proud of the decisions that you do make, and that little decisions will always add up. Even if you can't make a choice right now, when you kind of weigh out your options, even a decision will ultimately lead you to kind of like the, how do I put it? I feel like there are no wrong decisions for you, unless it's something like spend like $1,000 for no reason. Then that's a wrong decision. But like I feel like in terms, don't be afraid to make decisions, because ultimately you always want what's best for you, and you always have that choice. So don't be afraid to make those decisions and feel empowered by them as well. I feel like patience, it says patience, manifestations are on your way. So if you've been feeling like, when is my time, when is my time, when is my time, I feel like your time will come when you're ready and when you're centered, and when you're ready, centered, and in that kind of like grounded place to receive them, you'll get your manifestations. An inflow of money, love, or rewards is coming. Again, this comes after patience. So it makes me feel like as soon as you're in that state of, okay, I feel like you have to be in a really specific state of receiving. And as soon as you're in that state, you'll start getting what you want. But you have to first stop focusing on what's not working out in your life, what's not really being present in there, and kind of start focusing on what really is working out in your life. So another lesson here is break free. And I feel like breaking free is more of the patterns, breaking free of like your cycles, being more aware of those cycles, and really taking charge of them. And also set your sights higher. I feel like it says increase your standards. The spirit is literally telling you, please raise your standards. And the more you expect from everybody else, like, you have to, how do I put it, you can't expect nothing from somebody, because then it's easy for you to just get whatever is left. And I feel like a lot of your life revolves around getting leftovers, or like, not the undesirables, but you're happy with what you have. But you have to be happy with, you know, setting your own standards, setting your own boundaries, so that you get what you deserve. If not, you'll always feel like you're kind of being left short. I do apologize, this video was very like cut offy. I hope that when I like when I put it all together, it makes sense and that it looks well, because it kept stopping. It literally took me 2 hours to do this video, and it kept stopping me, telling me that it needed storage. Now I do want to do kind of like, as in I'm sorry, do a what you can expect next month. So let's see, what can Caroline expect next month? Oh, I feel like next month is going to be a month where you're going to need rest, but I feel like you're not going to be able to get it. That's what I feel when the Four of Swords pops up. It makes me feel like you're feeling defeated. You need rest, but you're kind of, I feel like you just haven't been taking it easy on yourself, and you kind of reach this point of kind of like burnout. Yeah, it makes me feel like you keep going even though your body's legitimately telling you like take a break, take a rest. And then you get easily discouraged and defeated because you are so tired. I feel like this is more of kind of like a mental exhaustion, just by the way the swords are being portrayed here. It's more of a mental exhaustion, and I feel like that as the month goes on, you'll get into a better headspace. I feel like at the end of the month, which is, to me, it feels more like New Year, you'll get more into that better headspace. But please listen to your body. I feel like a lot of this has to do with listening to your body, with making sure that you're taking care of yourself when you're not feeling rested. It's okay to kind of put some things to the back burner. Like, personally, I'm the type of person that if I don't feel I can give 100%, I wait a little bit, because I feel like everyone deserves 100% from me. Even if it takes me some time to give it to them, I will give 100%. The people that truly value your work will wait on you. And if not, like, things come and go, you know? And I feel like that's also a lesson for you. When your body's asking for a break, please take a break. Even if it's just one day, push things back one day. It won't kill you. And just kind of re-energizing yourself. I feel like maybe the orange has something to do, because I've been using this orange a lot. Kind of like re-energizing yourself and really like giving yourself that time so that you can come back more creative, more enthusiastic. But that's obviously not going to happen until end of December. Well, thank you so much, love. I hope that when I piece together this video, it's not choppy, because honestly, it cut off on me a good like 5 times. And you'll more than likely receive this video maybe more towards midnight. But hope all is well with you. Please write an email to me, write me on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you have me, you can write to me. I always love hearing feedback from my customers. And I hope that, you know, this reading kind of give you a little more insight on anything that you wanted to know. And if you actually want me to like tell you what crystals they are, if you didn't remember, you can always go back to the video, or you can ask me. I'm just gonna set them on right here, or you can ask me. And thank you so much for your time, love. I hope you have a good day. Bye.